شهیدانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور ساتوي پسرو وینو دا د شهیدانو کور دا کور دا د باتورانو کور.
Good evening. Today is Sunday, 24 of November 2024. I'm Suleiman Talash and you are watching RTA News. The Chinese special representative for Afghanistan met with officials of the Islamic Emirate after his visit to Pakistan and Turkmenistan and discussed various issues. The deputy spokesman of the Islamic Emirate said that the meetings focused on improving relations and understanding between Afghanistan, Pakistan and China. Meanwhile, the Chinese special representative said that his country is working to strengthen the economy, expand relations and increase cooperation with Afghanistan. We have more in this report. The Chinese special representative for Afghanistan met with Maulavi Abdul Kabir, the political deputy of the Prime Minister. We briefed him on his visit to Pakistan and Turkmenistan and stressed on improving relations and understanding between Afghanistan, Pakistan and China. The deputy spokesman of the Islamic Emirate said that during the meeting, the political deputy of the Prime Minister considered economic cooperation with China as developing and said that Afghanistan is working to revive the national economy and develop regional cooperation.
The political deputy to Prime Minister, Honorable Maulavi Abdul Kabir, thanked China for its assistance and said that Afghanistan is expanding its diplomatic and economic relations with China and is striving for regional stability and cooperation. Honorable Maulavi Abdul Kabir noted that the Islamic Emirate has assured the world that no threat will come from Afghanistan and has fulfilled its commitment in the last 3 years.
Meanwhile, the Chinese special representative in Kabul met with Defense Minister Maulavi Muhammad Yaqub Mujahid to discuss economic cooperation, strengthening bilateral relations, borders and investment.
The acting Minister of the National Defense considered China to be a neighboring country and an important partner for the people of Afghanistan and emphasized the commitments of the Ministry of National Defense and cooperation in common areas.
China's special envoy to Afghanistan said that this country is working to strengthen the economy, expand relations and increase cooperation with Afghanistan.
This is said which paves the way for the development of relations, so it's beneficial for everyone, whether China or other countries.
I
hope that the Afghan government, by utilizing the good relations and interactions it has with China, will make maximum use of the country's reconstruction, trade and economy with senior Chinese officials.
Chinese special representative for Afghanistan, Yu Xiaoyang, had earlier visited Pakistan and Turkmenistan to discuss the 5th meeting of foreign ministers of Afghanistan's neighboring countries and other issues. Maulavi Nur Jalal Jalali, the Minister of Public Health, met with Maher Al-Shun, General Director of Intrasas International Organization. The Ministry of Public Health says that during this meeting they discussed the priorities of the health sector in Afghanistan, the treatment of drug addicts and malnourished patients, the standardization of health services and the provision of health services to remote areas. During this meeting, Mr. Jalali urged the officials of the organization to provide standard health services in remote areas in addition to paying attention to mother and child health. Mullah Hidayatullah Badri, Minister of Mines and Petroleum, met with tribal leaders and influential people of Yakaulang district of Bamiyan province. In this meeting, the head of the public works of that province talked about mineral resources, work and activities of mining contractors, environmental problems, employment of local people in projects, and provision of social services for the people, and called for the implementation of more contracts in this province. On the other hand, the Minister of Mines and Petroleum stated that considering the existing facilities, the implementation of projects in that province and the problems of people will be addressed. 55 containers of commercial goods from China arrived in Hiratanpur town after 20 days of transiting through Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan. In the ceremony of handing over these commercial goods, which was attended by the Afghan Minister of Industries and Commerce and the diplomatic representatives of Uzbekistan, each emphasized the expansion of trade between Afghanistan and neighboring countries and called the protection of this land corridor a necessity in terms of trade with these countries. Let's see more in this report.
55 containers of national traders arrived to Heraton port by train. This train moved from China to Afghanistan 20 days ago and reached this country via Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan. The country's Minister of Industry and Commerce, Nuruddin Azizi, who came to Balkh province for this purpose, says that the Islamic Emirate is determined to keep this transit corridor active.
The shipment, which arrived in Afghanistan from China, traveled from eastern China and arrived in Afghanistan within 20 days. The largest of the goods in this shipment are the fabric that Afghans always use, as well as electrical appliances, dishes, spare parts, and some other things that we usually import from China.
Also, the Deputy Governor of Balkh Province and the General Council of Uzbekistan in Mazar-e-Sharif called this corridor a sign of development in the relations between Afghanistan, Uzbekistan and China and emphasized the strengthening of these relations.
When the Islamic Emirate came to power in Afghanistan, from the first day until today, they have been cooperating with the Islamic Emirate, and whenever any kind of cooperation was necessary, they were standing with the Islamic Emirate. May Allah reward them. Neighbor has right over neighbor. We are always with you. We are at your service, and that's the beauty of neighborhood. We will always cooperate with you.
On the other hand, the head of the Balkh Chamber of Commerce and Investment considers the use of this route important in increasing trade transactions, adding that this corridor, in addition to increasing exports, also helps in reduction of transportation costs.
In addition, it strengthens our economic position and determines our strategic position and leads to more economic growth and relations and lower costs. And the train that you and I saw, in addition to exporting, can also import such goods.
This transit corridor between Afghanistan, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan and China is considered one of the fastest land import and exports routes, and the transportation of goods between Afghanistan and China through this corridor takes 15 to 20 days.
The Ministry of Refugees and Returnees Affairs says that a meeting was held between Afghan and Pakistani officials in Torkham. According to the ministry, in this meeting, the problems of Afghan refugees were discussed, and the Pakistan side was asked to pay attention to the problems of Afghan refugees and patients. Mufti Abdul Mateen Qane, spokesman of the Ministry of Interior Affairs, says that 120 police officers graduated from the Nangarhar Police Training Center after completing professional and religious training. According to Mr. Qane, these police officers have received training in patrolling, searching, checkpoints, security tactics, and skills. The Ministry of Interior Affairs has arrested 20 people in connection with the sale, transportation and use of drugs in Kabul province. According to the ministry, the suspects were arrested by the anti-narcotics forces of the Ministry of Interior Affairs from different parts of Kabul. The ministry added that a quantity of opium, methamphetamine and drug tablets were also recovered from the detainees. According to another report, a man was arrested in connection with the smuggling of nearly 80 kilograms of methamphetamine from Zaranj city of Nimroz province. Mullah Nuruddin Torabi, head of the National Disaster Preparedness Agency, signed a memorandum of understanding worth $6.5 million in a meeting with the representative of the German Help Organization. In this meeting, Mr. Torabi, while appreciating the activities of this organization, added that this agency is trying to provide more facilities for aid organizations in the country. The Ministry of Interior Affairs has arrested 26 people in connection with robbery, murder, smuggling, gambling, and forgery of documents from different provinces of the country. According to the ministry, 6 of the arrested were from Samangan province, 9 were gamblers in Baghlan, and 3 were from Takhar. 8 others were arrested in connection with smuggling, illegal weapons, and forgery of documents from Herat, Helmand, and Ghazni provinces. The ministry also added that 25,000 tons of wood were also seized from Nangarhar province. That's all for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. Stay with us to stay updated. Have a good night.
ساتوی پسرو وینو دا د شهیدانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا